There comes a moment in life, quiet, brutal, unforgettable, when you finally understand something terrifying. No one is coming. Not your friends, not your family, not the people who said, "I believe in you." You look around the room, at the unread messages, the empty encouragement, the silence after your biggest dreams, and you realize, if you don't save yourself, you will remain exactly where you are forever. Most people break at this moment, but a few people become dangerous. This is the story of one of them. Ion used to believe success was a team sport. He believed loyalty mattered. He believed talent would eventually be noticed. He believed if he stayed kind, stayed patient, stayed helpful, people would support him when his time finally came. They didn't. At 27 years old, Ion lived in a tiny apartment above a noisy repair shop. Every morning, he woke up before sunrise and edited videos on an old laptop with a broken hinge. He had dreams bigger than his city. He wanted to build something powerful, a brand, a legacy, a life that felt larger than survival. But every time he tried to talk about it, people smiled politely, then changed the subject. His relatives told him to be realistic. His friends mocked his ambition behind jokes. Even the people closest to him treated his vision like a phase he would eventually outgrow. At first, Ion tried harder to explain himself. He showed them plans, ideas, late-night notes filled with goals and strategies. But the more he explained, the smaller he felt. Because some people do not misunderstand you accidentally. They misunderstand you because your ambition reminds them of the life they abandoned in themselves. And slowly, Ion stopped talking. One rainy night changed everything. The electricity had gone out again. The room was dark except for the glow of his laptop screen. Ion had just uploaded another video after working for 11 hours straight. 3 views, 1 comment. "Bro, give up already." He stared at the screen for a long time. Then he looked around his room. No mentor, no investors, no team, no cheering crowd, just silence. And in that silence, something inside him cracked. Not his confidence, his dependency. That night, he finally understood. Waiting for support had become his excuse. He had spent years secretly hoping someone would arrive and make the journey easier. A friend, a partner, a lucky opportunity. But nobody was coming. And strangely, that realization set him free. The next morning, Ion entered what he later called the ghost phase. He stopped announcing his goals, stopped seeking validation, stopped posting motivational quotes, pretending success was already happening. He disappeared. While others chased attention, he chased skill, and while others attended networking events, he studied marketing, psychology, storytelling, editing, human behavior. He worked in silence so deep, people started assuming he had failed. Good, because silence became his weapon. Ion discovered something dangerous. When nobody expects anything from you, you are free to become anything. Months passed. His routine became ruthless. Wake up at 5, train, work, study, create, repeat. No applause, no encouragement, just discipline. At first, loneliness felt like punishment, but eventually, it became power. Because isolation removed distraction. No fake friendships, no pointless conversations, no emotional drama draining his focus. He stopped asking, "Who believes in me?" and started asking, "How lethal can I become if I master myself completely?" That question changed his life. One evening, an old friend messaged him, "Bro, you still doing that YouTube thing?" Ion looked at the message and smiled faintly. Months ago, that question would have hurt him. Now it amused him, because while everyone else had been talking, he had been transforming. His videos became sharper. His mind became colder. His focus became surgical. And slowly, the numbers started moving. 100 views, 1,000, 10,000. Then suddenly, one video exploded. The comments flooded in. "Underrated genius. This changed my mindset. Where has this creator been?" Ion read the comments quietly, because people only celebrate the fire after surviving the smoke. But success brought something strange. The same people who ignored him returned. Friends who disappeared suddenly wanted meetings. Relatives who mocked him started calling him talented. People who once doubted him now said, "I always knew you would make it." Ion learned one of the coldest truths of adulthood. Most people do not believe in vision. They believe in proof. And proof only arrives after suffering. One night, after reaching his first major milestone, Ion sat alone on the rooftop of his building. The city lights flickered beneath him like distant stars. He remembered the old version of himself. The boy begging for support. The boy explaining his dreams. The boy waiting to be chosen. That version of him was gone. Not because success made him arrogant, but because struggle made him sovereign. He realized something powerful. The people who abandoned him had accidentally given him a gift. Self-reliance. Because when nobody saves you, you discover what you are capable of becoming alone. Maybe you understand this feeling. Maybe you are the one nobody takes seriously yet. Maybe your dreams sound crazy to people with small minds. Maybe you are tired of explaining yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you. Listen carefully. You do not need everyone to believe in you. You need discipline. You need focus. You need endurance. History was never changed by crowds. It was changed by individuals willing to walk through darkness without applause. And maybe that is your story too. Maybe this season of isolation is not punishment. Maybe it is preparation. Because sometimes life removes the noise around you, so you can finally hear your own power clearly. So if this story found you at the right moment, leave one word in the comments. Architect. Not because life is easy, not because the loneliness disappeared, but because you are finally done waiting for permission and ready to build your own empire.